I imagine we are all getting a great number of messages dealing with the coronavirus and the various ways we can respond and what we have to do for care. Certainly as a school community, messages have been sent concerning postponements, online classes, and various other types of messages. In this message, I would like to reflect for a few moments on how we might spiritually address the pandemic and our staying at home restrictions. Surely none of us have experienced a pandemic before, and we hoped we never would. But it is here. Over time, people have faced all kinds of things, wars and famines, plagues and depressions, and this is something we must face in our lifetime. Catholic social teaching always proposes the use of both faith and reason in approaching an issue. In faith, for example, we reach out in prayer, asking God to help those who are ill, those who are endangered in any way, healthcare workers, those who are working on behalf of the public good, and the officials who must make decisions on the safest course of action. In reason, we practice good behavior. We leave a distance between others. We wash our hands. We don't hoard products that all of us need. Faith and reason do work well together. We also realize that we are social beings, and we miss being with our friends, our coworkers, our neighbors. Being online isn't quite the same. In our homes, we're likely spending more time together than often happens, and we might have to work on making that quality time and not driving one another crazy. Let's squarely face that reality. But experts are encouraging us to go through this by sticking to a schedule, to create our own little space, to get some exercise, and generally to include something spiritual. So taking some time to pray, and if it's hard to get started, now think of praying for those who are most affected by this virus, especially people we might know. To read scripture, maybe follow the daily readings during this Lenten season. To follow a mass or service on television. They're all good things we can do. And we can and should do these as a family. The family in the home can rightly be called the domestic church. Namely, the smallest unit of the worldwide church is found in each Christian home. Beyond that, an act of kindness for a family member or for maybe a neighbor who has a need will then take us beyond ourselves and our own needs. Reaching out to those who may be alone is a great act of charity. Faith generally promotes good action. Perhaps we can also turn this disruption of life into a form of Lenten retreat, a time of spiritual discipline and growth. Trials can test us, but they also bring out the best in most people. We can set various goals we would like to reach during the next month when we know life will not yet be back to normal. Goals to help defeat the virus, but also personal goals and goals for spiritual growth. I urge you to do those things, to really think this through and to find ways to try to make the most of a difficult situation. And truly, I want to let you know that my prayers and best wishes are for you and your family to remain healthy, to have a spirit of peace in our hearts, and may we all be able to interact in the normalcy of life sooner rather than later. This is Father Donald here in the chapel of Archbishop Curley High School in Baltimore, wishing you good health and the Lord's gift of peace.